Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Challenger Series number 18. I am Nature, I'm joined by Spuddington, and this is game number 3 between MYM and the LowLandLions. MYM picking up Yasuo.
Well, that's not too surprising. They have definitely favored that pick in the past. They really like it. He is enabled on the live servers, and we are playing on the live servers. So, it does look like they're going to be getting a couple of different picks from the last game. And I am curious as to how LowLandLions are going to work around Morsu's champion pool. First game, he worked out very well because against Mundo, who is typically considered to be more or less uncounterable outside of maybe Shyvana, they actually worked very well because they had a Lee Sin pick. He used his lifesteal and his sustain and his early game pressure to make that pick work for them and obviously then draw a lot of focus to that top lane. This time though, he's probably got comparatively few options. They do have the last pick though, and that does mean that LowLandLions this time have the potential to counter the top lane that MYM pick, rather than being forced into taking it early, which would potentially happen if they were on the other team. This time though, they pick in that Riven. I'm not too surprised to see it. He's a very strong counter. She is a very strong counter to him.
Yeah, so for now, Zyra looking to be picked up here by Libic. Libic very much likes the Zyra, which is what we saw in the very first game in this series, of course. So Mackler once again looking to pick up the Lucian for his team right there. On the other side, LowLandLions, as you said, Riven being picked up there for them, and the Thresh as well. Now, nothing too surprising when it comes to bans, as of course MYM are sticking with what worked for them last time around. And on the other side, well, the LowLandLions, I think they actually banned the Yasuo last time around, and right now they think the Elise of Makata was a little bit too much to handle for them, so they decided to ban that one out. And well, of course, MYM are looking to make them pay for it.
Yeah, they've locked that in. That's going to be a powerful pick for them potentially, but you do have to worry about that matchup. If he ends up directly at one-on-one against Riven, he's going to need a lot of jungler support to make it work for him. However, at the moment, they're picking out some very strong champions just in terms of their overall power without necessarily thinking about how they fit together. Obviously though, if you start to look at the actual synergies, MYM with the Vi, with the Yasuo, those two work very well together because obviously highly mobile, very strong ganking potential for both of them if they choose to move, for instance, to bottom lane together. That could be a very useful thing for them. And obviously later game team fights as well, it means you get that double knock-up initiation from Yasuo and from Vi, which is incredibly powerful. Now, not sure what the next couple of picks will be, but certainly the Lucian lock-in is very safe.
Yeah, so in the end, Libic not deciding to go with the Zyra and deciding to pick up the Vi instead. However, Chuyu is hovering over that Zyra once again, hovering over the Alistar as well, so that might be very interesting in the end. Perry, now this time around, picking up the Sivir for Metalex, which he hasn't picked up the entire series so far, so that could be very interesting. And Morsu once again looking to pick up the Kha'Zix, but we could also see Heat, of course, in that middle lane running the Kha'Zix, and Morsu then in that top lane running the Riven. We are just going to have and see. And once again, Kubon probably going to run the Aurelia here.
Yeah, if they lock in Aurelia, that would make a lot of sense, because if you put Morsu in the top lane with Kha'Zix, it's not really going to work out very well against Aurelia. But the thing is, if you put Riven against Aurelia, that's also not a brilliant matchup. It's not awful, it can go either way. But the thing is, if you do that, then you are forcing Kha'Zix into a situation where he's against Yasuo, and it's not the Riven Yasuo matchup, which can snowball really heavily in favor of Riven. So now there's an interesting conundrum, because that is the clever swap up. If they lock in Jax, that probably implies that Kha'Zix is going to be jungling this game. If I had to guess, yes, that would make a lot of sense, because this way they get the Jax Irelia matchup they want in the top lane, and they get the Riven Yasuo matchup that they want in the bottom lane. That's a really, really smart play there by from the picking strategy of LowLandLions.
Yeah, so the Jax, interesting to say the least, and well, he's just going to have to deal with Kubon running the Irelia. Regardless though, ladies and gentlemen, we are just going into a very quick 3-minute commercial break. When we come back, MYM and the LowLandLions head to the Rift for the very last time in this series to decide who actually goes on towards that semi-final.
I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe. And it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need. And I know now we're getting older. The world we built is slipping through our fingers. We're running out of time. But you are the one I've chosen, and I won't lay still, living left behind, imprisoned by this love. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe. And it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need. And it's you that I wanna need.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the slight delay. We did have a little bit of a pause timer in the break. This is MYM versus LowLandLions in the Challenger Series number 18 quarterfinals. First match of the day. Kialis is finding Mackler. I'm Spuddington. How are you doing, Nature?
I'm doing very fine. Mackler might have not been doing so fine in the end if that death sentence did connect, but it did not. Kialis just barely missing that one, and Mackler lives to see another day. So in the meantime, IMHeat is actually going to run that Riven in the middle lane, and Morsu will be running the Jax in the top lane against Kuban. How do you think that the Jax is going to do against this Irelia?
Well, Jax versus Aurelia is a long ago matchup we saw a lot. It's one that hasn't actually changed particularly in a long time either. Generally, what happens is you see Jax has a slight advantage in the super early game. Then Aurelia picks up a little bit of an edge, you know, as heading towards that level 9 period. And then Jax tends to outscale her a little bit more as the game goes on and things get harder for him. But there's a very large element of skill involved in that lane. And actually, Mackler needs to watch himself right now because Kial is in that brush.
Ooh, very close stuff right there. Mackler once again dodging the death sentence in that middle lane. Chuyu putting down the pressure on towards IMHeat. IMHeat having a little bit of trouble dealing with him, but so far it seems like he'll manage, as we do have Morsu returning towards that top lane, or just heading towards that top lane. As you said, facing off against Kuban. Well, in the end, we're just going to have and see how this one rolls out. In that bottom lane, MYM putting down the pressure and pushing quite hard, actually.
Yeah, that's typically what you'll expect to see from a Lucian lane. They tend to like to push quite hard. MetalX won't have too much trouble farming under tower and can clear waves later on and start to get back into that lane. Also actually putting down quite a bit of pressure on Kuban in the top lane.
He uses the Ignite to get stunned up for himself right now. He might just want to back off because Kuban has got a little some more tricks in his arsenal to use on Morsu. Both use their potions, and that is going to be the end of that. Meanwhile, in that middle lane, Chuyu once again putting down the pressure on IMHeat, and this is what we saw earlier, and I believe our finals yesterday, Thursday, where the Yasuo would overextend. Now that could be very, very dangerous for him. Red buff has procced, and he will be backing away. Makate might have been looking for a gank there as well, but in the end, he didn't fancy his chances too much. Morsu getting stunned up in the top lane, jumps on towards Kuban. This could be bad for Kuban. And, well, in the end, Morsu once again backing away. And right now, they might be looking to try and turn this one around on towards Morsu. Flash coming in on towards Kuban, on towards Morsu out of Kuban, as they did not know quite where he did flash. Jumps on towards Kuban. Will he be able to pick up the kill? Yes, he will. First blood going over towards him. And right now, he just barely manages to survive. Are you kidding me? Perry trying to turn this one around. Meanwhile, that bottom lane, Kialis and MetalX taking a whole lot of damage. MetalX desperately trying to run away, grasping roots, not quite connecting. Boomerang Blade barely getting dodged by Mackler, and that seems to be the end of that as well.
Cutthroat action across the board there, and I've got to say, Makate was a little bit strange in that gank in the top lane. He didn't seem to register where Jax had flashed to, and as a result, Jax was able to get back around and get onto Aurelia to get the kill finished off. So a little bit odd there. That seemed like a situation MYM should have been able to win, but in the end, Kha'Zix's quick reaction was really, really good for them. Now, Kuban is actually doing something interesting here. He's going to gank IMHeat. You've got to say, is that a good idea? Turns out he's wasted some time.
Yeah, he certainly has wasted some time. Morsu gets some free farm in that top lane because of that. In that bottom lane, however, Kialis and MetalX once again being pressured so hard. And it seems like they're really having trouble dealing with this push coming out of Libic and Mackler. As we were to take a look at farm, MetalX is sitting on 33 versus the Lucian 32, so that's not too bad for MetalX and Kialis in this case, but once the minions hit the turret, that could be start to become bad at that point.
Yeah, in mid lane at the moment, we can actually see Heat is starting to really put the pressure down on Chuyu. And also, Perry looking to snowball this top lane. Jax versus Aurelia, it is worth noting, is a lane where getting an early advantage can really be useful for a long time. So if Perry can get that kill, it could work out, but with the minions pushed up, looks like he's not going to bother. Meanwhile, in that bottom lane, nothing too much going on. Obviously, Metalex is having a little bit of difficulty because he's forced up against his tower. But the most likely lane to result in a kill at level 6 is going to be mid lane. Heat, Riven can jump on Chuyu, and there's almost nothing he can do to defend himself against the extreme amount of burst that Riven can put out.
Yeah, Riven has been nerfed just slightly, of course, in that last patch. And that Blade of the Exile and that Wind/Slash might just get blocked by Chuyu once he goes in, but in the end, Chuyu needs to have some really quick reaction times to actually pull that one off. And talking about reaction times, he might need some to dodge Perry's gank if he decides to go in here. He just needs one good stun. Kialas is here as well. Death Sentence might just be able to connect here, but in the end, Chuyu keeps a safe distance and keeps himself under his turret.
Yeah, smart play by him. He knows that right now he can't fight Riven without his jungle presence. And even if the jungler is there, he has to be careful he doesn't get counter-ganked. So that's why Makati isn't going for it. He knows that there's a lot of potential focus on this lane. That actually means that Perry now has a good chance to just farm the jungle and try and get some items for himself. But Heat himself is actually probably going to be feeling a little bit stymied because he can't quite go aggressive himself without knowing Kha'Zix is at his back, and he knows Yasuo is going to play it very defensively.
Oh, the grasping roots almost connecting there on towards Kialas. The plants doing some damage on towards him, not too much of course, because Libic is not building full AP. In this case, just starting off with a Doran shield, which we do actually see more and more in that bottom lane when it comes to supports, which is of course what provides them with that little bit of extra health and health regeneration. So Makler and Libic once again putting on the pressure, and Metalex and Kialas are actually doing quite a good job in dealing with this one. And so far, this game has not been quite as explosive as the last two games.
No, it hasn't, and that's largely because these lanes are all going to be wanting to farm quite a bit as time goes on. And right now in top lane, actually, you can see Aurelia starting to get a little bit of an edge over Jax. But the flip side of that, of course, is that over time, we will expect to see Jax take an advantage. Perry in the bot lane not getting anything done. We'll see if Makati in the top lane can. Obviously, there is quite a bit of burst to come out of those two. Makati's ultimate is available. We'll see when they go for it.
Oh, Makati gets spotted out, and that is going to deter him from actually maybe try and pick up that kill on towards Morsu. Morsu will just be farming this one out. No gank just yet to kill him there, and he will just be, once again, as I said, farming that one out, and he will just live to see another day. He might just be trying to get aggressive here on towards Kuban. He is taking it very slowly, because he doesn't want to get surprised by Makata whatsoever, and he doesn't know where he is, of course.
Yes, indeed. Now, Makate, both of these junglers actually are kind of trying quite hard to get something done. Actually, more so in the top lane going aggressive.
Yeah, this could be bad for Kuban. Kuban, well, he barely manages to survive. The Ignite has ended, but we might have Makata in trouble. Perry has spotted him out. Makata gets jumped on by Perry, uses the Volt Breaker, gets cancelled by Perry. Perry uses those Void Spikes, flashes over. Makata will be going down to Perry. 2-0, LowLandLions.
And Kuban's likely to go down to Morsu.
In that top lane, once again, there you have it. Morsu picking up the kill there on towards Kuban. I missed that, sorry about that one.
Yeah, no, understandable, but that was a really nice jump in from Perry. He deliberately essentially failed his jump. You know that thing you see a lot of Kha'Zix do? They try and jump over a wall that's too big, and they end up kind of bumping backwards and getting back over it. Because he was able to jump and kind of get in the wall, Vi essentially collided with him in the wall, and as a result, because she was closer to the original side, she ended up on the original side of the wall with Perry, then flashed both of them to get over the wall and ended up with that kill going their way. So LowLandLions starting to take an early lead. They've got about 1,000 gold already. They're going for the dragon. Can they pick up Chuyu?
Yeah, they have picked up the dragon so far. Windwall coming out. Heat is dropping very, very low. Perry being forced to jump out there. Heat being forced to flash as well. Metalex trying to do as much as he can, but Kialis is going so low, being forced to flash. He's being chased by Chuyu. Metalex right now in retreat. Makler is trying to chase him down. Kialis has gone down. In the meantime, Perry might be able to help Metalex. Yes, he can by throwing out those void spikes. Support for a dragon. Great peel by LowLandLions.
Yeah, there was a very, very good disengage from them and a very, very good engage from MYM, because as a result of all that action, they are now going to be able to push down, if not completely this tower, then most of its health. And indeed, they are just going to take it and choose, going to face tank it. So, nice play by both of them there. And you've got to say, actually, MYM probably came out ahead overall there. Maybe LowLandLions overcommitting a little bit for the dragon. They really wanted to take it down fast, which meant they were all grouped in the pit, which meant the Stranglethorns really messed them up.
Yeah, it certainly did. Morsu returning towards this top lane. Probably trying to put down a little bit more pressure on towards Kuban. He is one level ahead of him, and there you have it. So much damage being done on towards Kuban. But Kuban might be looking to try and turn this one around using those Transcendent Blades to do some work and get some health back. And that will be enough to scare Morsu away just for now. In that bottom lane, however, Metalex and Kialis not scared at all and putting down the pressure on that turret. They really want a turret.
At the moment, Perry kind of looks like he wants this top lane. He wants Kuban, he wants him dead. I'm not sure he actually needs to be spending quite this much time up here though, because Morsu now, with that finished Blade of the Ruined King, is going to have a pretty big edge over Aurelia already, and that's only going to get larger with time. He is the stronger duelist. Maybe he's expecting that he'll need to counter gank Vi, but the thing is, Vi doesn't really seem to be thinking the same way. Vi, I think, is thinking about bottom lane and mid lane, because Chuyu is starting to get to a point where he can actually start to really damage Heat. And yes, Heat will still win in a straight up one-on-one, but that's not a reliable thing if you've got a jungler in there.
Yeah, so Perry in the end does decide to back away. Ooh, Libic gets those grasping roots on towards Metalex, doing a lot of damage actually, taking Metalex around 50% of his health in the end, which of course stings a lot. And Kialis has rejoined him now. In that middle lane, Chuyu was picking up his wraiths, and that means that Heat could probably be trying to put some damage down, but in the end he's just respecting Chuyu's Yasuo, well, wisely if you'd ask me.
Yeah, you've got to respect Yasuo. He really does a lot of damage, and the fact that he can chain so much CC together in a row just alone, let alone with, if the jungler is there, means it's so hard to ever think, if you don't know where the jungler is, I want to go in on this now. I want to go for this fight, so because I know I can win it. Because if the jungler is there and you messed up, you're going to die. It's a 100% chance at that point. Now though, Vi heading towards this bottom lane. Kha'Zix's hanging around in the area, gonna be heading there as well. This could explode because Vi is gonna want this.
Yeah, this could be bad for everyone here. Libic getting locked in there as the box comes down. Kialis taking a whole lot of damage, but here is Perry doing so much damage. He just deletes Makate, and they were not ready for that at all.
Yeah, and this is starting to get in pretty significant because they're going to take the bottom tower most likely. Actually, the culling will actually, so maybe not so significant there. The culling is going to be able to clear out that wave as a result. Now, Chuyu fighting Heat.
Oh, that could be bad for Heat, but Heat is a little bit too healthy for Chuyu, and he takes him out 5-1. LowLandLions actually doing work here in this game, but they really haven't secured a lot of turrets so far.
Yeah, they are actually behind one turret, but that's not too huge because turrets go down relatively equal. Now they have the bottom lane pressure with 3 men in the area, but Perry doesn't want to risk it. They have got the hook!
Oh, Death Sentence comes in on towards Mackler. Bye, Mackler. In comes Perry, and he will be taking the 6th kill for his team home, and that means that this turret is going to go down as well. And, well, that means that the LowLandLions are going to be in quite a strong lead here.
Yeah, indeed. They will be able to take that down. And Jax, continuing to apply pressure to this top lane, is getting stronger and stronger as time goes by. But Yasuo is going to counter.
Yeah, Libic might be trying, or might just be going down here towards Perry. Perry flashes for it in the end. He had seen that he had no chance of getting out there whatsoever, so he decided to pick up the kill nonetheless. Chu gets the bounty because of that, and well, that is let's see, 432 gold, which is quite a lot of gold. But I feel like Perry is well, starting to snowball out of control in this game.
You do have to be a little bit careful though, because Yasuo can completely ruin a team. Mackler in trouble in mid.
Oh, Mackler, you are in real trouble here. Heat is actually going for this dive, being forced to flash. Culling coming out, getting blocked out by those good guy minions. And Heat will be backing away. Great positioning there out of Heat to make sure that the culling didn't hit him.
And a really good flash out of Mackler to dodge the wind slash. If that had hit, he would have died. As it happened, both of them ended up blowing their flashes. No ignite used by Heat and kind of going out roughly even. But the thing is now, the dragon is up. Heat is not there. Heat will not have his ultimate. Mackler will be there eventually. His ultimate's much shorter cooldown, but actually not at this point because it's a rank 2 Blade of the Exile. So no worries about that, but regardless, I don't think either of them are going to have it up unless this goes for a long fight. And Kialis needs to be careful.
A Stranglethorn is coming down. Kialis being forced to flash, and he has been split off of his AD carry. Right now, MOM looking to take down this second dragon, and LowLandLions is not a whole lot that they can do about it. The last bet coming in on towards Kialis. Kialis using that box. The Sultan battery comes down. Kialis drops first. Heat and Metalex desperately trying to get out, and in the end, Perry had shown himself. So MOM being very cautious with what they do, but they pick themselves up the dragon and they kill.
MOM coming back strong. They had fallen behind in the laning phase. Partly because I believe LowLandLions outpicked them in the kind of laning phase department, but now they're going to have to contend with the fact they are, well, honestly, in spite of that, starting to fall behind, and that's dangerous. That's a bad sign. That means you're getting outplayed. That means something is going wrong in your execution, and your team, if it's having problems with execution, may well suffer in any stage of the game. Metalex needs to watch himself.
Yeah, Metalex could be in real danger here. Doesn't quite manage to get the ward. Kuban could have been in danger there as well. As meanwhile, that middle lane, Heat and Perry looking to pick up this kill on towards Chuyu, but Chuyu dives on towards Heat. Heat goes down. Right now, Chuyu not quite done yet. Perry being forced out there, and this is actually quite... Oh, the death sentence coming in on towards Chuyu. He's being forced to flash. Void Spikes getting blocked out by the wind wall. But this is actually a little bit reminiscent of that very first game where LowLandLions got an early lead, and then in the end, hold that thought for a second, because Morsu actually picks up the Kuban in that top lane alongside with the turret. But as I was saying, in that first game, LowLandLions got an early lead, looked a little bit shaky in that middle game, and then came back very strong in that late game, and where Morsu played a very big role in that.
Yeah, that's actually one of the most reminiscent things here, is it's a strong duelist top laner who's gotten ahead early on and who's pretty good at split pushing. And that's something we saw happening quite, having quite a big influence last game. Chuyu may actually find him, / be found by him.
Yeah, Morsu looking to well, finish off Chuyu here. Chuyu, great dive on towards those wolves. We'll make sure he gets out safely. Now Morsu might have been in trouble, and he will just be backing away.
Now, both the teams still relatively close on goal. Next dragon not for quite a long time, and Neither side seems really too willing to team fight, so that split push from Jax is going to become very, very important. Makler now going to be the focus. They are going to jump on him. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, however, he might just be looking to turn this one around on towards Metalex. He doesn't quite use the culling. Perry will be taking that kill home, 9-4, and well, that might not have been the smartest decision of Makler to be there.
No, he was pushing out quite a lot, trying to get his farm up. Understandable, because he's 0-2 and obviously doesn't feel too strong right now, but they have such potential to win fights just off of Yasuo. I feel like they need to be playing the pick game, because Yasuo can win it for them, essentially. And Jax actually right now is playing a dangerous game himself, but is going to be okay. And actually, is Chuyu's taking blue buff? I'm a little bit confused about that. I'll talk about that later probably. But at the moment, MYM are playing a defensive game. And like I say, I'm not sure they really need to be doing that. If they look for team fights right now, I feel they can win them. Especially if it's a small fight where they're relying on quickly bursting out a squishy target like Perry or like I'm Heat. Metalex might be a little harder because obviously On the Hunt and the spell shields will make him hard to pin down.
Certainly will. Right now, Morsu invading enemy territory right there. Might be looking for a kill here on towards Kuban. Makler going very low in that... in that top... Oh, where did he go? Oh, he was in the bottom lane. Sorry, completely missed that one. Where did he go? So Perry picking up the 10th kill for his team right there. And, well, Makler was nowhere to be found at the end of that.
Magician Kha'Zix, I'll make you disappear. Now, it does seem like Morsu is continuing to push out this top lane. Nothing too surprising there. Yasuo is going to gank this, which means there's a good setup. But can the rest of the LowLandLions get anything mid?
Well, Counter-Strike coming out of Morsu, that will be enough to finish off Kuban, but here's the last breath. Chuyu will probably be enough to finish off Morsu right there. Chuyu right now 1 versus Imheat. This is going to be a double kill for him. Chuyu with a double right there, and that was not too good for LowLandLions at all.
No, Chuyu is the soul-saving grace of MeetYourMakers right now. He is massively ahead of his lane opponent, which was supposed to counter him. And as a result, this is looking actually slightly scary for LowLandLions, but they can continue to abuse Jax and his strength right now. But Perry's in trouble.
Yeah, Perry gets caught by the Stranglethorns flashing over the wall. Makate has caught wind of him. He has been exhausted using that leap, so he will be getting out of there safely. But that turret is not going to stand straight for a whole lot of time from now on. So Chuyu and Libic taking that turret down, and that makes it 3-3 in turrets actually.
Yeah, so once again we're in this state where it's very, very much about the split push. It's very, very much about who gets caught out first, and that kind of play style is very much related to how good your warding is as a team. How much control can you have over the map? At the moment, looks like the dragon is going to be the next focus. Perry is there, but I don't think he's really going to try, because that's just ridiculous to try. As a result, LowLandLions now have a chance to get control over the vision of the top jungle if they want to, if they had someone in the area to do that. It actually looks like Morsu is just going to push and push and push. That's risky though. He's not going to get a lot of damage down on this tower before he gets collapsed on, and that in turn might cause some problems for them. Metalex is going to be in a lot of trouble though in the bot lane.
Yeah, but here is Perry. That might just be enough to save Metalex. Chuyu being forced away, but Perry taking so much damage for himself, being forced to leap out there as well. Kialis might be enough to finish off Chuyu here, but the death sentence gets blocked out by the wall. And in the meantime, in that top lane, the turret was actually taken down to around 1/3 of its total health.
Yeah, I guess you did not feel particularly worried when Aurelia turned up, but showing the power of Yasuo there, those single crit Qs were taking off a good half of Perry's health. He's built an armor item now, so maybe that'll be a bit different in the future, but that's huge, huge damage for a skill that's, what, 1.33 second cooldown at this point. He's crazy scary right now, and that means that for the future, LowLandLions are going to have to focus him out almost immediately. That is not impossible. It's just going to be a game of can they catch him out. The problem they're going to suffer, though, is that most of their tools for catching people out kind of rely on skill shot projectiles. Looking at you, Thresh.
Yeah, which is of course going to be a problem when the wind wall comes up. And right now, this could actually be bad for the Lowland Lions if MYM manage to take this Baron. That is dropping very, very quickly. It's at half health already. It has been warded. Can they do something about it? Perry jumps in there. He gets it. He gets the Baron. He uses the Void Assault. He's not even going to go down as a result. Heat might be going down. Double kill coming in there for Chuyo already. Looking for the triple there on towards Kialis, but Kialis not dying quite yet. That might just make it a triple kill for the MYM in the end. So 3 kills for MYM, but they didn't quite get the Baron. They might just be looking for a 4th kill here. Libic not quite getting flayed back. Death Sentence not connecting either. And Kialis will be living to see another day. Meanwhile, in that bottom lane, however, Morsu still pushing. He has got that Baron buff. Doesn't quite manage to get the counter-strike on towards Chuyo. Chuyo doing work, and this is going to be very, very bad for Morsu. He gets knocked off once again. Chuyo is legendary.
And really, really smooth skills there by Chuyo. The way he was dancing through the minions to avoid Jax's counter-strike, to put Jax in an awkward position where he was trapped behind the tower, was really, really smart and really, really fun to watch. But now on the hunt is going to chase down Makata.
Yeah, Makata, I don't see you coming out of this one alive. Boomerang Blade will connect. Perry has got that slow on him, and he will be taking home that kill. So right now it is a 5. It's a 4 versus 4 just for now. MYM are backing away safely. They know there's no one close to them. Oh, they're not backing away. Okay, so they're backing away just now. I thought they might just be going for... They might have been going for a base race there, but in the end they decide against that. And the Lowland Lions back away towards their base as well.
The only thing that's worrying for MYM right now is the fact that if Chuyo ever dies, and admittedly he's doing a remarkably good job of not dying, if he ever does die though, he is going... Their whole team could collapse because they have very little damage other than Chuyo. Yeah, Makler right now has a Trinity Force and a Bloodthirst. He has 2 items. It's 27 minutes. Anyone with a decent bit of armor, which is most of the team of Lowland Lions, is going to feel his damage. Over time, he might burn you down, but without that Last Whisper, he's not a huge threat. Irelia, yes, she's got a hit end style max. Yes, she's got a Blade of the Ruined King. She's going to do a bit of damage, but she's actually paper squishy. She's very, very squishy, and she's not really going to have an easy time killing people either at this stage because she fell a little bit behind on levels, which relates quite a lot to her damage. They're not going to have much answer to Jax either because Chuyo actually might have difficulty still in 1v1ing him. But now the question is, can they get this top inhibitor tower before the bottom one goes down? The dive is very, very likely. Chuyo, if he gets a knock-up, will go in on it.
Yeah, the turret in that bottom lane has fallen already. Right now, MYM will probably be taking this one home as well. Turret has gone down. Morsu doing work on that bottom inhibitor, but MYM not done with that top inhibitor on the side of the Lowland Lions either, so they trade inhibitors. MYM looking to back away here. Heat just dodging some of those kill shots, and right now it seems like Lowland Lions are just going to try and delay all of these recalls out of
It doesn't matter if they die.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if they die. Makata going in there on towards Perry. Perry desperately trying to get out. Stranglethorns comes down, but Heat is very, very alive at this point, and he barely manages to survive in the end. Heat manages to survive for now. Double kill coming in there, but in the meantime, Morsu doing work on the Nexus. This is going to be Lowland Lions and MYM overstaying
Not necessarily!
their base. What are they? He doesn't quite manage to pick up the flashes for it, and he gets it. Lowland Lions 2-1 make it through to the semis.
Wow, that is a certain kind of ending. I honestly thought Morsu was going to die to Chuyo there. That was some really, really clutch stuff at the end, and a very, very smart call by Lowland Lions.